It should be working now. I don't know what happened to the previous one because the mic, and I'm sweating because of my anxiety, darn it. But it's working. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, I just want to say for anyone that's doing this, I know I've been streaming a ton here, but I think maybe for now I should probably do it this way because the way I have many topics instead of just one topic and then adding another one that doesn't belong with it, because I think that's not gonna help. But Dumbo, and yes, I do still miss my channel. I just want to mention that once again. Just because I'm not talking about it right now doesn't mean that I miss it. I'm devastated, absolutely, but I'm just doing my best just to distract myself. Dumbo basically wanted to talk about pennies going extinct, right? And I remember reading about this. I'm going to cover this because I'm going to get paranoid if I see like the view count dropping. I will get really, really paranoid. Um, Basically, he said that um, well, he just brought it up, and I remember seeing on Twitter that apparently, yeah, Dumbo. I mean, I've seen that people talk about this a few years ago that these pennies are supposed to expire. I think this thing extinct because they're not living species. I shouldn't say expire. I think that's a dumb move on the America system for this because if you see these pennies, right? I've collected these for years, if that makes sense. And they're 1 cent, right? And I'm not kidding. All of these pennies that you see here, I have found on the ground. And the reason why these pennies are so important to me, for example, is because one, I live in the copper state. Okay, pardon me. I live in the copper state, if that actually makes sense. That is not our nickname, but it should be one of them. Um, these helped me survive when we were struggling. When we lived in our previous house, right? These pennies were such came in such a long way for me because of how. Sorry if I look all aggressive. I just with all the people that are bullying me, that's why I got the anxious look on my face. I'm not that calm. I can't control it. Um, the thing is, when I go to Dollar Tree, when I was short on change, I would sacrifice the pennies I have just to buy a 5 pack of ramen noodles. And if it wasn't for these pennies I would find on the ground, I would have starved to death. I'm not kidding because there were a couple incidents when we were really low on groceries that I couldn't eat nothing but ramen noodles, right? And they were a lifesaver. However, though, what's really smart is that in my neighborhood that I walked in, finding all these pennies were an easy find because they stand out. And yes, they may be only a coin each, but they make a difference because of how important they are in our Americans' currency. Because I don't know that much about money, but I know in other countries though, 1 cent doesn't exist. I know in Canada they don't. I think they do have pennies, but it's a little different compared to ours because we have the nickels, we have the dimes, we have the quarter, half quarter, which is what I like. Those are rare. And heck, even the $2 bills, I always wanted to have one. Those could come in handy because if you had to pay tax, then they do help. And I don't know, honestly. I just thinking that getting rid of these is not necessary because I know that they don't really have much worth, but to a whole chunk of them, they do make make a difference. I still believe it, Dumbo, when they say that pennies are going extinct. I don't believe that. I don't. I know a lot of YouTubers talk about this, but I might as well talk about it. The reason why they want to get rid of them is because it costs a lot more to. Oh, really? Than what the penny's worth. I see. Really? Hmm. Well, if that's the case, I don't blame the system, whatever that runs behind this. I think I just oh my gosh. Dumbo, I didn't knew that. I don't think this should get rid of it. I wonder maybe just because since everything is getting so expensive now, they're starting to becoming obsolete. Maybe that's why because the uh basically groceries, gas, etc. There are increasing. That's why pennies are not worth as much valuable. I suppose. I hope they don't get rid of dimes. Honestly, my opinion, they shouldn't get rid of any of these because these are American history. If they would make things more cheaper, I don't know much about this stuff. I don't honestly. Um, then we wouldn't have pennies going extinct. I wonder maybe because since COVID, of how business what many businesses shut down and everything started to get a little bit more expensive. That has to do with it. I'm not sure though. Um, they might even get rid of nickels or dimes. I hope they don't because I think what will bother me is that in the future though, if everything has to be electric or something, I don't know what's the name of it. Because if there are people that don't have the technology or have smartphones or whatever, especially for the homeless, that'll be an issue because we normally would pay things by hand. Because I know in some countries though, they don't have that rule that you still pay by cash. I think it should stay that way. And I think the main reason that people don't want that is because now they have to round up price. Let's say something is 336, but now they get rid of pennies. It would be either 335 or 340. Oh, huh. Dumbo, that's interesting. I never thought about that. See, I think it's still dumb if they have to get rid of them because when I used to go to Dollar Tree, right, it was easy just to pay for the roundest five. Well, depending on what you buy. Because I know that the noodles I would buy, they're $1.25, and let's just say I have $1. And then I have 2 dimes. That's $1.10. Okay, 3 dimes. Make it no wait, 3 nickels. That's $1.15. And then I would have 10 pennies. Right? It may seem a lot, but the thing is, though, I think the reason why this is a problem is because, from what I remembered, cashiers they would be low on change, and when they give you pennies back, it kind of helps. And I don't think they should get rid of that because imagine, let's just say that you are 4 pennies short. They can't just give you a nickel because how they're gonna round that up? They'll just lose more money out of the cash register. That's why they should get rid of pennies because that way that whatever you have to pay for, you pay the exact amount. That way it won't be seen as theft. Because honestly, I know some stores they may have a problem with that. Like I would feel guilty if one of the cashiers they would give me more money back because in some incidents I would get less out of it. I don't mind having pennies. I want the exact change that I paid for because that's extra money that I'm losing. If that actually makes sense. And do you think they could get rid of the dollar bill? No, well, they wouldn't because that's our first president, George Washington. And it would be so dumb of them to do that, because that's history. Honestly, I don't think they should get rid of it. I don't believe it because, at least in the past, when I see these YouTubers talk about these a few years ago, before we lost our house, I would still find so many pennies on the ground. It's insane that they want to get rid of it. Yeah, a chance it will be a little more expensive. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm glad you agree with me. And I might be a dumbass, but I think what's that? Oh, there was once yeah, Dumbo. Yes, $2 bills do exist. I think you can get them on the bank. I don't know how many they make though. They're pretty. I know they're rare. That's one thing. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Heck, even the $half is rare. I still have mine. I don't want to spend it because I like it. I want to get rid of it. At the same time, I wish I did used it. Oh, poopy. No, they do. They're just really uncommon. I think you could ask them in the bank. I'm gonna ask my mother. I'm gonna ask my mother about it. The $half dumbbell is just like a larger version of a quarter, kinda, and it's worth 50 cents. I forgot who's on it. I'm just too lazy to get it because I think it is in the closet right now. Yeah, yeah. I only have one, but I never spent on it. You forgot they exist? Yeah, I know because they're so uncommon. Oh, excuse me. Plus, for some odd reason, I like the smell of copper. I don't know why. That's just me. Oh, Dumbo, there was never 75 cents. No, it was only half a dollar. I can't imagine a 75 cent one. That'd be kind of weird because you can't really round it up evenly. You can round up a quarter and then half a dollar, but not 75 cents. I think that's why. No, there wasn't a $4 bill. It was only a $1 bill, a $2, a 5, 10, $20 bill, 50, 100. I think there is a $1,000 bill. I'm not sure though. I know there's a $500 bill. I don't know if a 200 exists though. I don't know. I don't think a $200 bill exists. I actually don't think they should get rid of pennies, to be honest. I mean, I get that costs a lot to make, but they're pretty important. Yeah, I absolutely agree. If everything was so expensive, then this wouldn't be an issue. Maybe that's another reason why I don't like COVID. Heck, my favorite Starbucks will probably still be there. Well, oh, whatever. Oh, Dumbo, the $half still around. They're just not as common. Yeah, same here. Even though I don't know that much about capitalism. It sucks I don't know that much about politics because I just didn't really care for it. So Trump is the one that making everything expensive. I didn't know he was the issue behind this. That's interesting. Hmm. I did determine what he's doing is terrorist. Why is it called that? It's a weird name for it. Yeah, that's what it's called. I just don't know why it's what it stands for. Yeah, people keep bringing it up. Yeah. I hope I don't sound dull. I know I'm not talking much, and I know the lighting is dark because it's getting dark soon. I just hope they change their minds to keep the penny. Yeah, me, you both. Wait, Dumbo, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get a tablespoon of peanut butter. I'm glad. I just hope I guess because I felt jealous of that video earlier and I wish I had that many comments because I feel it's just so unfair that you had to do so much for me and people well, I get it. Darren's occupied and Darren Max had to do his tournament. At least he apologized because if he did it, I would take it so personal because I know how it's like being neglected and the others. And I enjoy talking with you as well. It'd be lovely if the others should feel the same way. I'll be back. Hi, I'm back. I got like two. I got two more pieces of chocolate chips left. Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't went through. You said that there should be 20 cents. Really? Hmm. I don't know. I don't think there should be. I don't know. I can't imagine a 20 cent though. Yet again, no. Maybe there should be a 20 cent, huh? Because you can round it up, and if you have five of those, that does give you $1. So I guess that makes sense, huh? Man, I gotta pee, but I'm too lazy to get up. Oh, is Ricky a newcomer? Ricky, are you new here? wonderful. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm a little dull and whatnot because I don't know when was the last time I have any newcomers about them leaving and being uninterested because people are really how do I explain this? Really judgmental just because of my voice and whatnot. Um, so it's just because Dumbo's the only one that's on here that talks to me, and others don't talk to me as much. I'm guessing you got suggested. Oh, wonderful! It can make your suggestions. So basically, we're just well, I was talking about pennies, right, with Dumbo because he was the one that decided to come up with the topic. After I lost my YouTube channel for no apparent reason because I've been really devastated and frustrated, and I had to distract myself at the time being. So yeah, I'm a little bit upset, but I try not to take it personally. And you collect coins? That's wonderful. I do too. I Speaking of coins, I do have a Mexican peso that I found on the ground, which is really neat. I mean, at least where I'm from, you will find those here because I know in other parts of the country being like impossible to find them. And my mother, she actually has some pennies from Europe. Euros. I think we don't have any pounds, but we do have Canadian dollars. I think. I'm just too lazy to go to my closet to find them now. I'm just not in the mood. I just know that we have a Canadian penny that has a maple leaf on it. I forgot how much worth it is though, but um I like collecting them because since I'm a xenophile, I like how money in other countries look like it actually makes sense. Because my mother, she used to travel and she did collected them, but I guessing for some odd reason she didn't pardon me, she didn't transfer them because I guess she wasn't able to, if that actually makes sense. And Dumbo, you should collect coins. Like when you go for your walks for the job interviews, if you ever stumble upon them, just put it in your pocket. If you manage to.
Some times when the Earth was almost destroyed. So the Tunguska event in 1908 was a 100-meter asteroid that exploded over Siberia with a force of 15 megatons of TNT, flattening 2,000 kilometers worth of forest. If it hit a populated area, it would have killed millions. Similarly, the Chicxulub asteroid over 66 million years ago killed 75% of Earth's species, including the dinosaurs, and if it had been slightly bigger, it could have single-handedly ended all life on Earth. The Carrington event in 1859 was a massive solar flare that caused telegraph failures. If that happened today, it would cripple all satellites, power grids, and communications worldwide. The Cuban Missile Crisis during a 13-day period in 1962 was the closest that humans have gone to ending civilization on their own account. Single miscalculations of intent could have seen billions die. This didn't happen yet, but the comet Swift-Tuttle is dubbed the most dangerous object known to humanity and is set to come alarmingly close to Earth in 4479, which feels far away, but luckily you'll see the Apophis asteroid in 2029 that actually has a pretty decent chance of hitting us. Pretty cool.
I don't believe that. That's not gonna happen. No. Honestly, I mean, heck, in my state, we got a meteor crater up north. I'm surprised that didn't destroy our state. I do wonder why we're known for copper here. Sorry if I'm talking to myself. Anyway, I have a bad habit of doing that. You don't see coins on grounds, Dumbo? That sucks. I don't know why did I see so many. Maybe it's because I think that's why, because my state is known for that. Because of all these coins that you see here. I'm not kidding. I'm thinking if I didn't spend any of my pennies, all of the coins I put on the ground Would I fill this jar halfway? So that probably be maybe of all the pennies I found, at least $5 worth. So, well, I found a lot of pennies. Maybe 600 pennies worth, I guess. And yeah, Ricky, I agree. There is a need for. You know what? I want to look it up very quick. Hold on. It's also canceled the screen because my MacBook has a terrible plug, and I cannot move it because it will short circuit. So that's why. Let me look that up very quick. Foreign currency. You know what? I'll look this up. This looks interesting. I'll wait for an ad. It's only 5 seconds long.
For their retirement, their families, and for future generations. Welcome to U.S. Money Reserve, a precious metals leader dedicated to providing the most accurate information along with industry-leading tools and resources.
It's so weird. I got an ad about Liberty coins. Weird.
There. So, this is Bob. He lives in America, where he uses the US dollar.
So, Dumbbell, the video's title explains 101 why different currencies have different values. And what you see in the video is the $1 bill, the $2 bill, the $5 bill, the $10 bill, the $20 bill, the $50 bill. Okay, so there's no. I think we have a $500 bill. Unless I'm an idiot not knowing that.
Every day. Now he wants to travel to Germany, which uses the euro as its currency. But when Bob tries to exchange his money, he finds that one US dollar is equal to 90 cents euro.
Interesting.
Then Bob goes to Vietnam, where one US dollar is equal to 25,000 dong.
What?
Wait, hold on. Why does money have different values? Why isn't one US dollar equal to 1 euro and 1 dong? And why do exchange rates keep changing every second? In this video, we're going to dive into the world of currencies, exchange rates, and why money isn't just equal. Before we talk about the reasons behind different currency values, let's first cover a short history of currency. For a long time, money was directly linked to precious metals like gold. This was known as the gold standard. Under the gold standard, a country's currency was backed by a certain amount of gold. For example, the US dollar was once tied to a fixed amount of gold. This helped keep exchange rates stable because a country couldn't just print more money without having more gold.
Yeah.
It stopped governments from printing too much money. But as economies grew and global trade expanded, countries started moving away from the gold standard. It was getting harder to keep enough gold to back every unit of currency, especially during wars and crises.
Crises? You mean crisis, right? Wait, that's a word? Oh, that's crisis, not crises. So wait, that's during World War II. Interest, huh?
By the 1970s, most countries had switched to a new system called fiat money. Fiat money is currency that has value because the government says it does, and people believe it. It's not backed by any physical asset like gold. That's why some people call it fake money. If you want to learn more about this, let me know in the comments section, and I can make another video for it. As fiat money has no physical value like gold, its value depends on whether people still want it or not. If many people want the money, they will compete to get it, making the value of the money go up. But if nobody wants the money, its value goes down.
So that's why in some countries the value, the money value, that's weird. So let's just say in Mozambique or Burundi, their money is worth so much. Wait, our money is worth a lot in their country because they didn't really have much. That's what it says, a conversion rate, because what? Because they don't transfer it and it's corrupted. That's why in richer countries, the money. That's. I'm such an idiot. I don't know much about this stuff. I don't. Dumbo, they're called Canadian dollars. The same way in Australia, they call it Australian dollars. They have the dollar sign like we do. While for the United Kingdom, they got pounds. That's why that symbol it's like a curved L. So yeah, I know it is neat, isn't it? Did you say $25? I wasn't paying attention.
So the value of fiat money comes from supply and demand. That's why the currency of strong economies like the US dollar is higher in value because more people want it. Meanwhile, the currency of weaker economies like Venezuela, which had hyperinflation, is much lower because nobody, not even Venezuelans, wants it.
Wait, what?
While the currency of weaker economies like Venezuela, which had hyperinflation, is much lower because nobody, not even Venezuelans, wants it.
So basically, the image that he was sharing, or the images, is money all over the ground. It's so meaningless. It's literally over the street, which means they don't care for it. It's basically paper on the street. It's not money. It's just paper. Well, it is paper, but like it's literally if you see paper on the ground, that's how meaningless it is. That's a lot of money. That's awful. So it says here, even Venezuelans drew their money on the street as it has no more value. That's depressing.
So in this video, we will look at how supply and demand affect the value of money. Section 1, inflation. So, inflation is when the currency starts losing its value. Simply said, it's where there's more money compared to the amount of product and service. You can watch my video about why don't we just print more money to understand more about this. So, when a country has high inflation, its currency's value will decrease. Why? Because nobody wants to buy and hold a currency that is losing value.
I got a lot to learn. Interesting. I meant their money is worthless because they printed. So, Ricky, that's why I didn't knew that they printed so much. That's weird. Would that be considered fraud, or what is it called? Because I know that's illegal, right? I forgot the name of it. When you print money, it's counterfeit. I remember the Goonies. It's when they would meet the Fratellis, whatever the heck they're called, and the kids, right? Oh gosh, I haven't seen the Goonies in so long. It's one of my favorite movies. And they say it's counterfeit. It's counterfeit because it's fake money. So that's interesting.
For example, in 2022, you can buy 2 loaves of bread for $10. But due to high inflation, 2 years later in 2024, you can just buy a loaf of bread for $10.
So in my state, for example, our inflation, well, I don't know how it is now, but I know when I used to go to the store, everything is cheap here. Everything is really cheap. We don't really have inflation here. I'm trying to understand how it works because in other states, like let's just say, I'm not sure how much you had to pay for apple juice. I'm sure some states they had to pay $5, but where I'm from, like at my favorite grocery store before they closed down, I could get a gallon for $2. Heck, I could get apple. Wait, no, that's apple juice. Yes, I could get milk. I'm not sure how it's like in other states, unless it's the same. I don't know. At Dollar Tree, I could get a liter of milk for $1.25, and it's fresh milk. It's a good brand. I could get a 5-pack of ramen for $1.25. I can literally live off of food for a week and just $10. I'm not sure how it's like in other places or other states though. Honestly, that's interesting because it's kind of weird because I can get a whole loaf of bread for $1.25. I think when I used to go to one of my favorite grocery stores here, I could get Hawaiian bread, a really expensive brand, I'm sure, and that would only cost. I have videos of me when I used to go to the store. I've got to search for it whenever I could get my channel back. I really want it back badly. YouTube is just being really irritating for that. I know people are not interested, but I like that. I was just too nervous because of my social anxiety, but I could get okay Hawaiian bread. It cost me $1. I'm not kidding, $2. So I could get 5 loaves of that for only $10 if I could. Apple juice, that's $4 together. Burritos, if I could get, let's just say, I think it was 50 cents or something. If I would get 4 of those, right? Oh god, I can't do the math in my head. Okay, apple juice and Hawaiian bread, that's $4. 2 packs of burritos. Let's just say that's 2 days worth of food, right? That's $5. And if I would get like 2 TV dinners, that's like $1. That's $7. So that's $4. That's 4 days worth of food. Dessert, depending on what dessert it is, that's $8. Well, I could get like let's just say a 16 pack of Pop Tarts. That is $9. And then if I want to get banana chips, that's a snack. That's $10 altogether. That's basically five days worth of food, right? Burritos. Oh yeah, noodles too. If I want to add that as a bonus, if I want to get like 3 packs of noodles, that's $11. So that's like let's just say six days worth of food, and just $11 worth. I could live off of that money. The thing is, I'm not kidding. I used to shop for those groceries. I could literally live off of $20 in a week. I don't know if other people could survive off of that. I could. Plus, since I'm really short, that's not a problem because I don't eat much. I mean, all I ate today was just a tablespoon of peanut butter and 2 chips of Hawaii's, and I'm kind of full already. So I just would take me much to get full.
So you buy fewer things with same amount of money. A real-life example is Zimbabwe. In the 1980s, the Zimbabwean dollar was worth more than the US dollar.
What?
One Zimbabwean dollar was equal to 1.35 US dollars. But due to their failed land reform, economic problems, corruption, international sanctions, and printing money mindlessly, the value of the Zimbabwean dollar dropped dramatically. By the 2000s, $1 was equal to almost 600,000 Zimbabwean dollars.
How is that possible? You can't just be a millionaire for having $2. That doesn't make any sense.
In the 1980s, the Zimbabwean dollar was worth more than the US dollar. One Zimbabwean dollar was equal to 1.35 US dollars.
I'm surprised they use that dollar sign like we do.
But due to their failed land reform, economic problems, corruption, international sanctions, and printing money mindlessly, the value of the Zimbabwean dollar dropped dramatically. By the 2000s, $1 was equal to almost 600,000 Zimbabwean dollars. The government tried to fix it by changing the currency several times, but in the end, they gave up and started using more stable foreign currencies, like the US dollar and the South African rand.
Right.
Even though the latest news is Zimbabwe trying to get back their original currency. So plus 1 point for never giving up to Zimbabwe.
Oh, ad. It's a sure ad. So it means that's if some random guy is putting fake money. Right. So that's what counterfeit is. And Dumbo, you're not sure how much apple juice is worth? I think Hawaiian bread got more expensive. See, the thing is, I think they do sell them at Dollar Tree. I saw it when I last went. I miss that store so much. I do. I wish I can go back. I do. I love how quiet it is. I don't care if people like Dollar Tree. I do. It's so quiet. It's not loud. God, no one bothering me or being close to me, for crying out loud. And plus, the workers were really friendly. Okay, that's fine, Double. You gotta go. I can end the live stream. I do thank Ricky for being here, though. Dumbo, I don't know if it's 1,000 rupees. I'm not sure. Yeah, you loved archery? Yeah, me too. I'm never gonna forget that Floridan family at all because they put us in this mess. I probably would have lost my YouTube channel. I probably would, but not like this because of them. I do hope I could get my channel back. Honestly, that's why I've not been eating well, or I've been sleep. I slept in the live stream earlier because I was so depressed. But Dama, whenever you have to go, I can end the live stream. I do appreciate Ricky for being here, though. I'm just glad he got recommended. Because I know my videos are not that great, and I tried to get judged just because, well, that YouTuber went viral over a great video she did. I tried to get judged. I try not to. Dumbo, what you asked me when I'm gonna live stream, right? I know that's one of them. I don't know. But what were the other questions? See, the reason why I want to live stream is because it does pass the time. It does keep me less insane of stress because of YouTube's dumb Twitter system. Plus I need to message Tim back. I know he's been so supportive. Do you plan to do live stream? I'm not sure if I can be on the stream. Oh, not till I don't know when, Dumbo, but don't worry about it because your family comes first. It's not like anyone visits my live streams anyway. I don't know why I keep doing it. I'm just upset right now. Don't worry about me though. I'm just upset that YouTube has to act like this. Oh, but again, Banksnap, she still lost her channel. So I'm not the only one. Hey, Dumbo, it's my pleasure, even though I sometimes feel that I'm not a good person. This is a good video. I want to come back to this later. So this is about money, kinda, on his channel. Still a good channel. Wait, very quick before you go, this is the video that I mentioned, or the YouTuber. She did such a good video on it. Wait, where's her video? Oh, I thought it got removed. It was so good. It was so good. I got worried at first.
And keep in mind, YouTube is aware of this. There are multiple campaigns for him to get taken down for the dumb shit that he was doing, but YouTube just chose to do nothing. Another example is the YouTube comic dub trend. If you look up comic dub in the YouTube search bar, you will find a bunch of NSFW comic dub videos that just have straight up cropped up in the thumbnails. Like, listen, buddy, I did it better, okay? Is that a fucking show? And then you have adult film stars on this website making videos exposing their fucking snatch. This is the damn hub and advertising their explicit content. Here's a video with 58 million views. This girl has her whole see out. Here's another, and another, and another, and another. Look at this one, bro. That shit's meaty, bro. What the fuck? Want another example? Look up nude yoga. Again, more of the same shit. If you look up stuff like educational or penis educational, some of the videos you will find are actually educational. Sometimes it's just straight up bored. There's actually a lot of porn on YouTube. Here's some hentai that I found. Here's a movie that has a fully nude sex scene with a close-up shot of a woman's booty. Here's Rule 34 of a 14-year-old cartoon character. Here's Mercy naked with a Fuda. Here's Diva from Overwatch ripping her pants and showing her booty. Here's a Widowmaker swinging her fat girthy. And finally, my personal favorite, here's a girl butt naked and farting. Yeah. These are just a few examples I found, but content like this is all over the platform if you look for it. There are entire subreddits dedicated to finding this stuff. And in case you're interested, here's one I found just the other day. Look up TikTok no bra bouncing, and you will find compilations of women in see-through clothing, and you can see everything. And these videos get millions of views. Look at this video that's been up for over 2 years with 16 million views. I don't expect YouTube to find every small video on the site that's breaking the rules, but some of these videos have millions of views. They've been on the platform for years. Almost all of the channels I gave as examples of breaking the rules are either bigger than me or get more views than me. So if YouTube is monitoring my tiny ass channel to the extent that they are, why aren't they doing the same with other channels that are bigger than me and posting far worse content? But another big thing I want to talk about is YouTube's notoriously inappropriate ads. Because nothing pisses me off more than YouTube telling me that I need to watch what I say so that they can play Mr. Beast scams and AI-generated porn ads on my videos. YouTube videos are expected to be super safe and appropriate. Meanwhile, YouTube
I've watched this 3 times. It's such a good video. It's one of my favorites. So, Dumbbell, the video is titled YouTube Has a Moderation Problem, and the YouTuber is Bang Snap Clips. And it's a picture of a stick figure. She only has 12,000 likes. She deserves more than this. So the reason why I want to share this right before you leave is because she got her channel removed. Because okay, so what it says here, the fact that you were terminated for knocking over your mic, meanwhile, they are, I don't know what that means, R34 videos being exposed to kids, it means that she made a video of her knocking over her mic, right? And YouTube that it was considered child abuse for some odd reason, and she lost her channel. And what really worries me is that she lost her channel 3 months ago, and she still didn't got it back yet. Otherwise, I would have seen it on here. That's why I'm panicking so much, because I feel that I'm not gonna get mine back either. I know Tim saying that I could get it back, but I'm worried because if this happened to her, which it did, it kind of bothers me because I don't want to wait until August. I don't want to wait that long. I will go insane having to wait a month and a half. If that makes sense. Yeah, she got terminated just for a mic issue. She just knocked it over. That's it. I'm glad Tim is telling me it. I'm just worried because I don't know. I mean, I'm just worried. I am, because I feel that I don't know how I got my channel back last time. That's the problem. But I'm so sorry to keep you on hold. I'll let you go. I'm just gonna watch another YouTuber to pass the time. I don't know. No, I know, but you need to take care of your mother. That's more important. Of course. Plus, he left, in a way. Oh, what you want to tell me? I think Ricky didn't enjoy the live stream, but it's all right. I noticed he left, but it's okay though. Dama, you don't have to worry about it. I'll put like a live stream for a while. It does get a little bit disheartening when people keep leaving. I mean, I'm glad you stopped by, but it's not like you said, "Oh, I want to subscribe" or whatever. It kind of hurts because I know he's not gonna come back again. Oh, it's so difficult, honestly. That's why I'm so jealous of that channel because she has such like a huge wave of people supporting her though, and for me, I can't even get one person that don't want to stick around. It puts a lot of pressure in my heart for this. I did. Oh, you can at least tell me that he subscribed. It'd be nice if you would tell me that they subscribed though. Well, that's nice of him, I guess. Oh, and I wish people would tell me though, not just leaving out of nowhere. I know that sounds harsh of me, but I don't know. I just don't like when people don't want to speak up much. That's why I'm jealous of her, Rita, because people say, "Oh, I came here for this show, I subscribe." Like, I would. Okay, I'm saying like. Damn it. I just want people to basically do the same. Yeah, thank you for telling me, Dumbo, because I was about to take it personal, thinking, "Oh my gosh, am I that dull?" Even though you think otherwise. Maybe he just didn't realize he should have told you. I suppose you're right. Hmm. Yeah, Dumbo, I'm gonna leave. I hope your mother heals and recovers for what she's going through for health issues. I really do. You know, it was good talking to you as well. And yes, your family comes first. I'll get into the stream so you can do that. I don't want to keep you on holiday anymore. I'll feel guilty for that. Oh.